Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel and the Superstars of Wrestling review series for the 17th of September 1994. Rare particular edition. Bushwhackers and Well Done. Timothy Well, Stephen Dunn is the opening contest here this week. 94 seems like a time which I haven't seen anything from 93 through 96 since it aired originally. I used to have 86 through 92 on DVD that I transferred from my VHS collection. But 93 through 96 with this program, literally it's been a quarter century since I've seen it. Anyway, Dunn and Well were basically two steps above enhancement talents. Bushwhackers, I didn't even realize they lasted till 94. Anyway, basic tag match, double teams, attempts by the heels, bite of the butt for comedy by the Bushwhackers. Yes, I cannot believe I just used that phraseology, but I did, because it's what I saw. Anyway, Bushwhackers making their way up and around, and you know, the jump from behind by the heels. Eventually, Bushwhackers come back with the double gut wrench, gutbuster, and a battering ram. Harvey Whippleman, by the way, is the manager for this particular team, otherwise known as Memphis Downtown Bruno. He gets pulled into the ring and they pull off his pants. Bushwhackers do, and he runs away in boxer shorts and a suit coat with his team after they lose. And anyway, the Bushwhackers throw away the pants of Harvey Whippleman. Somewhere out there, somebody has his pants. Anyhow, a highlight series of, or a highlight package of Adam Bomb and Bam Bam Bigelow, which I'm sure I saw as a kid, but the part of me that is tired of seeing microscopic sized wrestlers was intrigued at the concept of seeing this match again in that particular time frame and whatever have you. Interesting in the benefit of things that I saw. There was a ECW commercial in the YouTube version of what's there of this particular episode. Probably won't be there much longer now that I mention it's on YouTube. But anyway, Jeff Jarrett is out next. He is doing his country music shtick that he does through 95. My personal favorite version of him. He basically does the anti-great type stuff. Does a bunch of, basic wrestling moves, holds, takedowns, and the like. Jarrett in all purple and kind of including suspenders. Cool deal. Match runs about 3 minutes. He ends up getting, as one can imagine, the victory. Another thing I didn't realize in watching this, and of course his victory comes via figure 4, is that Ico Pro runs at least through 94. I remember it in 93. I did not know that it goes all the way as a promoted product to at least the end of September of 94. That was interesting to me, learning about it and all of that. Obviously, we see some basic stuff. Also amazing to me was watching the WWF play a charity softball game. They highlighted that. They make the fact that they were much more accessible to fans back then in 94 so much better as a company. Tony DeVito, who later was a member of the Baldies, is out for an enhancement championship match. Of course, the Baldies were an ECW group. Still can't get over the fact that next year ECW's final show was 20 years ago. It also reminds me that I really am very niched in what I enjoy of wrestling. I enjoy the 80s through about 97 or so. Haven't seen enough of the 70s and before to comment that I enjoy it greatly, but I would still say even the stuff from like the 50s and 60s that I've seen, I enjoy better than today's stuff. Yes, it's slower, but it feels more like a competitive contest, much of it. And speaking of competitive contests, this is not. Tony DeVito and The Undertaker, and obviously Undertaker. A big gimmick. He's headed towards Survivor Series 94. Casket match rematch with Yokozuna. He's coming off of the Undertaker versus Undertaker battle about 6 weeks before, maybe 4 weeks before. Anyway, punch, kick, rope walk, and the like, and then a tombstone. And of course, The Undertaker gets a Superstars squash victory here. Amazing to me that he's been around for 30 years. I've been a fan longer than The Undertaker has been The Undertaker, and that's just weird to me. Anyway, they do plugs for Monday Night Raw, which at this point, I think the transition to Raw being bigger than Superstars is 94. Kwang is out with Harvey Whippleman. Kwang, of course, is Savio Vega under a Mortal Kombat-like mask. He does kicks, punches, and the Great Muta-like mist. I remember Kwang and the 1-2-3 Kid having some really good matches on house show tours around this time. Late 94, early 95. Just really enjoyable stuff. Anyway, even for teenage me. Kwang does the martial arts thing quite well. Again, actually misses a shot in the corner. The enhancement talent gets a backflip. They actually do a couple of martial arts sequences with a couple of missed kicks and a spin kick, 1, 2, 3. Kwang wins, and we then go post that match to another enhancement talent match. Big surprise, actually. Nope, we go to the Heartbreak Hotel with the $1 Million Man. $1 Million Man says that Tatanka was in his back pocket all along, had been there for months. Luger wasn't the one he wanted. He approached Luger one time, and Luger did not respond the way that Ted DiBiase wanted, and thus he pursued Tatanka. Tatanka turning on the made in USA version of Lex Luger at SummerSlam 94. Of course, Luger gone within a year after that to join WCW. Speaking of gone, the common sense of whoever came up with Thurman Sparky Plug, who's up next in a enhancement talent match. This is the time when everybody had a gimmick. Abe Knuckleball Swartz in the middle of the baseball strike, saying he's on strike. Of course, that's the Brooklyn Brawler in face paint and a baseball uniform. And he's in the crowd here. Sparkplug Holly, great wrestler, obviously Bob Holly, but that character does not fit. Race car driver thing never caught on. I think the plan was for a WWF sponsored stock car to catch on in like NASCAR, and it just never happened. Holly wasn't, that good a driver, probably on one level below or whatever the case may be, and that did not catch on. Speaking of catching on, though, Holly hits a roll through on a top rope crossbody, gets the win, 1, 2, 3, although it's awkward as heck. Speaking of awkward as heck, Bob Backlund, who has turned heel a couple of months beforehand, in the summer of 94, gets some ride time on an enhancement talent. Of course, he is less than 2 months here away from his second WWF title reign. He basically outdoes the enhancement talent, manages to go nuts on him, hooks a crossface chicken wing, which, by the way, FYI, as a kid, even though I was disabled, I used to wrestle around where I could, and I had a friend put me in the crossface chicken wing legitimately. Youch. No fun at all. Not a move to try at home. Anyway, and so they go to hyping Raw coming up. Undertaker does a choke slam on Quang, among other things, and then we close out there. Undertaker is getting the hype going forward for the next little while, and we will be back with more right after this.